Hello everybody, this is Greg with Strange RV Tours, and it's in the 40s today, so we didn't go out to film anything. So we're going to try something different here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me in a roundabout way. Join me, it's going to be fun. I'd like to tell you guys a story about an uncle of mine. It's kind of amusing. My mother grew up in the Ozark Mountains in Arkansas, and she was a true hillbilly. My grandfather was a coal miner. They lived like Loretta Lynn and her family did in Coal Miner's Daughter. Um, but they were wonderful people, absolutely salt of the earth, wonderful people, some of the best people you'd ever want to meet. She did have one brother, though, that liked to cause problems, and they were not out of meanness. He just liked to pull pranks on people. So anyways, my family and I had moved to California when I was born in California, so we'd been out there like 6 or 7 years. I was about 6 or 7 when this took place. But one day, my family, my mother and father told me that we're loading up the car and we're going to see family in Arkansas. So we loaded up the car as a 2-day trip to Arkansas. I thought we were just going to see family. But apparently, my uncle, my mother's youngest brother, had gotten into some trouble, and if I'm right here, because it's a long time ago, he had blown up either a mayor or governor's mailbox with caps from dynamite as a prank. But to the owner of the mailbox, that wasn't a prank. So when we went to Arkansas, we ended up going to the I guess it was the county jail, and visiting my mother's brother, who was I think 16 at the time. His name was Gordy, and apparently a deal had been struck that the judge would release Gordy to my parents as long as they would take guardianship of him and take him out of the state until he reached legal age. And so instantly I had a 16-year-old brother. My parents and I brought Gordy back to California. Gordy went to work with my father as a wallpaper hanger, and he when he lived in Arkansas with his parents, he had this habit of buying broken down cars. And when I mean broken down cars, I mean he's buying cars for $50, $100, $150, and this would have been in the early 1970s, and he was buying cars from the 40s and 50s, and he would just have them hauled out to my grandfather's land, and he would just leave them in the field. So when we go to see my grandfather, there was always 15 to 25, maybe 30 cars just all over the pasture behind the house. And so anyways, that was in the past. Now he's working with my father as a wallpaper hanger. And one day my father comes home and Gordy has bought a motorcycle that didn't run. Broken down motorcycle. He probably bought it for $10, $15, something. But my father knew that if I allow Gordy to keep this motorcycle here, there's going to be another 10 motorcycles coming behind it. He's going to have them all over the yard. And so my father told him, he said, Gordy, I don't care what you have to do. Tomorrow when I get home from work, the motorcycle better be gone. And Gordy never listened to my parents. He was a 16-year-old kid that, he'd listen for 5 minutes and he'd go do his own thing. So my father never expected that he would come home and the motorcycle would be gone. But he did. He came home and sure enough, the motorcycle was gone. So my father couldn't believe it. I'm even having memories that young. I remember my father coming into the house just happy and telling my mother, I can't believe it that Gordy listened to me. He got rid of that motorcycle. And so anyways, my father asked Gordy what happened to it, and he said, I gave it to a friend or something. So anyways, this was probably right before Christmas, and didn't see the motorcycle again. But come springtime, when flowers start blooming and everything, my mother and father decided that they were going to redo the flower beds in the backyard around the pool. And so they were out there digging, and my father's using a shovel, and he hits something. Makes a sound. So he thinks, that's weird, it must be a rock or something. So he pulls the shovel out and pushes it down in the dirt again, and sure enough, he's hitting something. So he digs down and he starts digging in the dirt, and he realizes something is metal down there. So he goes and he starts pulling off as hard as he could, and he pulled some motorcycle handlebars out of the flower bed. And so now he's thinking, this is really weird. You know, who would have done this? So he's planting. He plants a little bit more, and he hits something else, and he pulls a motorcycle seat out of the flower bed, and then it's a wheel. And my father started realizing my Uncle Gordy had taken the motorcycle apart when Dad was at work the next day, gone into the backyard behind some hedges, and dug holes, took the motorcycle into about 12 different pieces, and just buried it in the backyard so that he didn't have to get rid of it. So that's the kind of background I came up with. Gordy was a wonderful, wonderful uncle. He really was. I have so many good memories of Gordy. He passed away from an epileptic seizure about 20 or 25 years ago. But he was a wonderful, wonderful guy. And I was an only child at the time, so to me it was like having an older brother. And I have such fond memories of him. But he did so many crazy things that I was thinking about it the other night, and I was telling my wife this story, and she said, you should document this, that it needs to be told in the future. So anyhow, so that's what I'm doing. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. If you did, there may be others like it coming up. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, hit the little bell up in the corner, and please share these videos. And you guys take it easy. Until next time, have a great day.